If you are a Florida homeowner, pay very close attention to your mail this summer. Sometime around August, you're going to get a notice in the mail that is not junk and should not be ignored. Come August this year, probably in the first couple of weeks, be on the lookout for your trim notice. According to an article from FloridaHomesteadCheck.com, trim stands for Truth in Millage Rate, and it's required by law to be sent to you every year. Why does this matter? Your trim notice is meant to disclose to you, the homeowner, what the property appraiser has come up with as a value for either your market value or your just value as of the first of the year. And what's important is this is what determines your initial tax basis for your property tax bill. In English, the taxable value determined by your trim notice determines what your property tax bill will be in November. The first time this is done is the initial January 1st after you buy a home. It's based on the sale price of your home, but it's generally calculated at about 85% of that number. If you're buying a home that has not been sold in a very long time, be aware that come that next January 1st, your property tax bill is going to be recalculated based on the purchase price that you paid for the house. So if you're looking for a way to guesstimate what your property taxes are going to be, a good way to get a rough idea is to look at a similar house that sold recently in the same neighborhood. Get an idea of what their taxes are, and you can better guesstimate yours. Once your value is calculated that first year, all of your property taxes are going to be calculated off of that number for the entirety of your ownership of that house. See why this is important? And this is important for an investment or a property that you live in. But if it's your primary residence and you're gonna homestead, this is what the article had to say. After that, if you file for homestead, the market value determines the amount of portability that you have accrued. You care about portability because if you move to another home in the state of Florida, you can take your portability with you and it will lower your tax bill on your next Florida home. Portability basically allows you to move from one home in Florida to another home in Florida of similar value in Florida with no increase in your property tax bill. Trim notices, much like filing for homestead in Florida, are often misunderstood and therefore overlooked by homeowners. But it is super important because paying attention to this is what's going to determine how much money comes out of your pocket every single year when you pay your property taxes and how much money you're going to keep in your pocket if you relocate to a different Florida home. We're talking lots of savings, like thousands of dollars year over year that only increases the longer that you own a property in Florida. So pay attention to your trim notice when it comes this August. If you are in your very first year of home ownership, make sure that trim notice comes in as low as possible. Calculate the purchase price of your home times 85%. If it's higher than that, you've got just 25 days to contact the property appraiser and come up with a viable solution. And it's easy to let these kinds of things slip, but if you can pay attention, it's gonna save you so much money. And if you own a home that is your primary residence, please make sure it's homesteaded. And if you haven't homesteaded it, it's not too late. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.